everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, I did this look today and I used the Morphe 35F palette. This look is super easy, super glamorous, and super beautiful. So if you're interested in recreating this look, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so I decided to make this a voiceover video. I started off by pushing all of my hair back with my cute little cat ears headband. I then began to moisturize my face. Today I used the Clinique Moisturizing Gel, and I love to use this around my nose. It's really great for the T-zone because I feel like it makes a difference throughout the day in your T-zone when you get really oily, and it just prevents all of that oil, especially when I have super oily skin. It's just a great benefit. So for primer today, I used the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I absolutely love this primer right now. It is my holy grail. It just completely evens your skin and it reduces your pores, like if you have really big pores, and it makes everything just so smooth and flawless as a base for your foundation. It also smells really amazing. So then I just put a little chapstick on. I use the Maybelline Baby Lips just as like a little primer for the lips. I then went on to priming my eyes, and I used the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. Mine is in the shade C8. So I just put some on my eyes, and then I went on to blend it out with a little beauty blender. It looks dirty, but I only use it for priming my eyelids, so it's just concealer on there. So after I blend out all of the concealer to prime my eyelids, I go on and I set it with a loose powder. As you can see, today I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and I use the shade Light Medium, which is number 20, and I just put a little bit on to set all of the concealer on my eyes so I can have a very smooth and flawless base for my eyeshadow application. So that is what I'm doing. And today we're using the Morphe palette, and it is the 35F palette. Oh my god, I'm so excited to use it. So I just start with a pretty fluffy brush. I grabbed the third color from the left in the palette, and I started in my crease just as a transition shade. And most of this is just going to be a lot of blending. We're not playing with any of the bold colors yet. I just keep using browns from the bottom row just because those are the matte ones in the palette. And I just kept on adding to the crease and blending it out, and adding to the crease and blending it out. It was just really important to have a flawless transition. I did speed up this footage just because it's just a lot of blending. You can see it's the same. So I decided to do a kind of halo eye look today. So I grabbed the two darkest shades in the palette and I applied those to my outer V and my inner corner, and I just kept blending it. I started first with the darkest brown shade, and then I softly applied the black shade. Both of them are matte, but I just slowly built up the color. And then I went back into my crease and kept blending it out. Seriously, it's just all blending. I think it's very helpful though if you start with the brown and then pack on the black like ever so softly, because if you start with the black, it's just a mess. So start with the brown and then add the black. And we're going to keep blending. I like my looks to be very, very flawless. So if my eye is not perfect, then I am not done. That's basically how it goes. So I'm just packing on a little bit of black each time and blending it out a little bit by a little bit, just to like deepen the look and to darken the crease a little bit in my outer V, just to create some depth and dimension. So now for the fun part. I grabbed the Tarte Chrome Paint. This is a shadow pot chrome paint actually, and I first started off with Fire Dancer, and it's like this really beautiful burgundy, deep red, chrome kind of color. As you can see, it's so pretty. I didn't realize it matched my nails, but it's such a pretty color. So this is the color I decided to use for the halo effect that I'm doing. I could have easily grabbed one of the beautiful colors from the Morphe 35F palette, but I didn't feel they were as bold as I wanted them to, be, I mean. So I decided to grab my chrome paint pots from Tarte. The application of this was pretty difficult, but later on I grabbed some glitter primer, some NYX glitter primer, and I applied that to the center of my lids, and then I went over that with the Fire Dancer Chrome Pot. As you can see here, that's why it looks more bold on my eyes. I had to go over it with the glitter primer and then apply again. So after doing that, I grabbed another Tarte Chrome paint pot, and this one is in Top Yacht. It's so pretty. This is more of like a champagne light gold, I would say, but I decided to add this one in the center of the burgundy color, just to create more of a depth and more of a super glitter glam kind of effect. And then I just went around and I fixed the edges. So now I'm moving on to my face. Today for foundation I use the Huda Beauty FauxFilter foundation. My shade is in Baklava, which is 340G. I just applied that to a little foundation brush, and with that I just painted my face. This is probably too much foundation, but I went for a pretty full coverage kind of look, so you don't have to apply this much. To blend out my foundation, I actually like to use a little bit of oil before I go in with a beauty blender. So as you can see today, I use the Farsali Unicorn Essence, and I just apply a little bit to my forehead and my cheeks. And then after that, I go in with my beauty blender and I just blend it all out. I feel that way it gives you a little bit more hydration, especially when you're using a super matte, super full coverage kind of foundation. So it's a pretty good balance, I feel like. So after blending out all of my foundation, I went on with concealer. Today I used the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. My shade is in medium 28, and I just applied this underneath my eyes, onto my forehead, to my nose, and my chin. This foundation is really great. I've been using it for a while now, and it is pretty full coverage. It honestly reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, and just because this is a little bit more affordable, I've been using this more often. But it is really great, and again, it reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, which is a big price difference. So I just went on and I blended out all of my concealer with the same beauty blender that I use for foundation. To set my face, I went back in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. It's the same one that I use to prime my eyelids. Again, mine is in the shade Light Medium number 20. And I just put a whole bunch underneath my eye. I like to bake underneath my eyes and around my nose, around my mouth and my forehead, just because those are the areas where, well, for one, I do get oily the most because that is around my T-zone, and also number two, because those are the areas where I can crease the most, and I like to keep my smile lines and all of the lines just pretty, I don't know how to explain it, but it keeps everything together when you bake those areas, especially when that's your T-zone. So for the rest of my face, as you can see, I went in with a pressed powder, and I used the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder. I really like this one because it is translucent and it is waterproof, so it does not add any extra color to your foundation or to your skin, and it is waterproof, so it doesn't really budge, especially throughout the day. So I just apply that to all of the areas that I didn't set loose powder to bake. So now I'm going in with bronzer, and today I used the Colourpop bronzer, and I did not show the name of the bronzer that I used from Colourpop, and I'm honestly not sure, but I will leave it in the description box. I'll find out and leave it in the description box. But with the bronzer, I kind of just contoured in a way. I personally like to use matte bronzers and bronze and contour at the same time. I just feel like it's easier for me, and it has a really beautiful effect. I don't know, that's just how I'm used to doing my makeup, but if you want to go on and contour and then bronze and do all that, by all means go ahead. Like I said, this is just easier for me. So I do around my cheeks and around the temples of my forehead. I also do my nose just to like do a little nose contouring, but I do it very messy just because I don't really have the time to make it super perfect. I also do underneath my bottom lip and then under my chin, just a little bit. So like I said, I do a pretty messy nose contour and cheek contour. So I don't really mind when I'm applying the bronzer or how I apply it actually, because I just go back in with some loose powder and I kind of fix the line, I straighten it up, and I just let that sit and bake. So I'm just finishing my nose and now I'm fixing my cheek. It just makes it look super clean and super chiseled, like it's super nice. Okay, so now I'm going back into the eyes and I'm just being so extra. I decided to go and add some glitter. So I put on some NYX Liquid Crystal Body Liner. And it says body liner, but I honestly use it as a glitter eyeliner. By the way, I don't know if it showed, I used the color Crystal Silk for today, which is number 104. This is like a really light gold, like champagne almost, kind of like the last chrome paint pot that I used from Tarte. I'm just adding like extra glitter effects so it could be really popping. It just super in your face kind of eye look. So now I'm going back in with a small tapered brush and I'm just dusting away all of that extra loose powder from baking. Look at those lines, it's super clean. So for blush, moved on pretty fast. I'm going to be using the Burt's Bees blush today. By the way, the color is Bare Peach, if that didn't show, or if you didn't catch that. The color is Bare Peach. This is such a pretty blush, you guys. It's like this soft pink. Actually, excuse me, it's not even pink. It's like a peach, and it has this really subtle shimmer in it. So if you wanted to, you could just pack on this blush and completely skip highlight. But I'm not going to do that. So I jumped in and I used my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade in the color Ebony, and I just did my brows. I actually did not film myself doing all of my eyebrows. I did that off camera. But I'm going to go back in to the Morphe 35F and I'm grabbing the last two shades in the palette. These are also the same two shades that we used to do our halo effect in our eyes. It's the dark brown and black one. And I'm just blending that out in my lower lash line. Now I'm going to prepare my eyelashes for false lashes. So I just curled my lashes and I used the Tarte mascara. For lashes today, I use the KOKO lashes, and these are in the style Ariel. And then I went back in with my Tarte mascara, and I just applied some on my lower lashes. I didn't apply too much just because I wanted to keep my lashes pretty wispy today. And then I also did a quick coat on my top lashes to blend in my lashes with the fake lashes. And after finishing up mascara, I went in with a eyeliner. Today I used the Sugar Green Light, that is the shade, Green Light eyeliner, and it's such a pretty emerald color. I feel like it really popped, especially with the burgundy and champagne on the top of my eyelids. The colors all just went super beautifully together. So setting my face, I'm using the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This is such an amazing setting spray. I love it. I use it all the time. It's so pretty. The look is so pretty. So lastly, highlighter. While my face is still fresh, I use the Fenty Beauty highlighter for my face. That probably didn't show well, but for my face I used the color, I think it's called Mean Money. That's the side I used. So on the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter, I used Mean Money for my face, and then I zoomed in, as you can see, and I grabbed the super shimmery one, which is Hustla Baby, and I applied this one on my inner corner of my eyelids. And then lastly, doing lips, I just primed my lips with a Colourpop Lippy Sticks, and it's just a primer, it's not an actual color. So I just primed my lips with these, and then I went in with the Tarte Tartiste Lip Paint. This is the matte one, by the way, and it is in the shade Bestie. So this is the completed look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. What did I do? I did this makeup look. Has nothing to do with the title. Why can't I talk?